So today Java class is about the class and object. In object-oriented programming, a methodology of the paradigm of and designing the program by using the class and object means here whenever you're going to creating a class in object-oriented program, it should be based on the object only. It should be based on the object only. The paradigm means here you have some systematic manner of the programming, okay, where we can design the programmer like a class, okay, and object. The object is a base where we can write on the program on the class. A class is a logical entity. A class is a logical entity. What is a class? Is a logical entity, and object is a physical entity. So the logical entity means here that should be happening in your mind, whatever you're thinking, okay, that should be there in your mind. The capability of thinking like expression yourself is containing of the manner is called as a logical entity, okay. So which is happening in your mind, that is called as a logical entity, okay. So that a programmer can be write the code under the class only. The programmer can be write their code in the class by thinking of the object, by thinking of the object. So object is a physical entity. Object is a physical entity. So now here, what is the meaning of physical entity? A physical entity means here which we can see and touch that object. Okay, it may be a tangible object or intangible object. That may be also one type is there. So which we are seeing the objects, feeling the objects. Okay, for example, car is an object, pen is an object. Okay, so these are we can see that objects here. For feeling, for example, college and bank, these are the feelings should be there here. Okay, so in the simple words, we can say a class is a group of objects that give common property, and it is a template or a blueprint of the object. Objects are created. So whenever you are going to create the objects, we need a class. So what is a class is the thing, but here a class is a code where we a programmer is writing the attributes of the properties of the objects here. Okay, so where the class attributes described in the sometime of refers as a field because of the content of the data. These are also called as a properties. The programmer should know as the properties. Okay, the properties are coded within the class. The properties are coded in the class. Okay, either a public variable or a private variables we can use. Okay, properties procedures is there. Okay, so that the create a object we need must a class, so that we call as a it's a blueprint. It is a called as a blueprint or a temple. So what the class is contained here, the class contains here data members, method, constructor, blocks. The class is contains the data members. In the class we can write the data members or method, constructor and blocks. The simple example of the class creation, the syntax of the class creation is whenever you're going to create the class, we use the keyword called as a class and write the class name. Okay, then data members, methods. So these are will be there in the block. This is opening flower bracket and closing bracket. Whatever we will be there in this coding, that we called as a class. ఈ दोनों के बीच में ఈ మధ్యలో ఏదైతే రాసుకుంటున్నామో దాన్ని మనం క్లాస్ అంటాం. క్లాస్ని క్రియేట్ చేయాలంటే క్లాస్ అనే కీవర్డ్ యూజ్ చేసుకోవాలి. Suppose we are going to create a class called as a test. So we test is a class name, okay, by using the keyword called as a test. So this is about the class definition. The next one, object. We discuss about the object. Whatever we are seeing in the world, okay, it is a entity, a runtime entity or state behavior known as an object. Okay, an object is a very similar to the what we are observing in the real world, in the real world. जो भी आप रियल వరల్డ్ में అబ్జర్వ్ कर रहे देख रहे మన కంటికి కనిపించే వస్తువులు ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో ప్రపంచంలో వాటన్నింటినీ కూడా మనం ఏమంటామంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ అంటాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ పెన్, కార్, మ్యాన్ ఎక్సెట్రా, all are objects of the example. It can be a tangible. Tangible means देख सकते, చూడవచ్చు. లేక intangible, it may mean feel goes with it. Physical and logical. All the objects are should be have three characters. Every object should have a three characteristics. First one is a state. It represents the object data objects. It represents the data object. And behavior, it represents the behavior of the object, how the object is behaving. For example, pen is there. उस पेन का कैसा लिख सकते हैं इसे पेन बन रायना पन చేస్తుంది. So like this identity is nothing but physical implement of via unique id. The value of the id is not visible for external user. This id is not visible for the external user, but it is used for the internally by the jvm, internally by the JVM. For example, if you take a pen is a you call as an object, the name of the pen Parker, okay, color blue is a etc. This can as a state. These are known as a state. It is used to write the right, okay, and signature. We can call as a behavior. Every object having a state, behavior, and identity. These three must be there. The identity is nothing but a characteristic of the unique identity. Okay, a state is the Java state store the fields and represented, and behavior that the object behavior how the objects are is going to behaving. Okay, these are the three important thing here. In simply, state means that data values that object have, student have the, for example, if you take a student is a object, then student first name, last name, age is comes under the state. Behavior. So what are the behavior of student here? We attend the classes, okay, okay, computer science classes, behavior, okay. The next one, uh, what is identity is naming a rule number or admission number, Aadhaar card number. This then comes under the identity. Okay, so these are the example of the student object. Student object as a same as if you taking for a car is an object. So what is the state of the car? By using the car has a status, speed, rpm, gear, direction, fuel levels. These are the engine temperatures. These are comes under the car state. At the same time, what is the behavior of the car? The changing the gears, going fast and slow, going into reverse, stop, start. So these are the behavior of the your car. And identity the comes under the VN number and license plate number, model number. These are the car identity. So this is about the class and object.